Well, welcome back. So when we look at the profile, you can see the four different areas divided up as extroverts, introverts, right brain, left brain personalities on the 6 different personalities. And so as you can see the 6 different personalities, it's important to understand those first, the 6, the red, the orange, the yellow, the blue, the teal, and the green, and that each one has its own unique identity or its own traits. And it's also important to point out the opposites. The opposite of red and blue is a good one to point out because red is drive, charge, heat, fire, high energy to get things done now. Blue is emotional, deep loving, deep feeling. And so if we just chose the word love and compared how they would describe love between the two of them, red would describe love as more about loyalty. When I decide I love you, I won't change my mind. And the day I change my mind, I tell you I don't love you anymore. And so it's very concrete, very structured in their thinking what love looks like. And blue, it's very fluid, very flowy, very emotional process. So blue likes to be told they're loved every day. And red, on the other hand, they believe that by telling you that they love you every day, they feel like they need to be reconvincing you of something that they have never changed their mind on. Or in other words, they don't feel like they're being trusted with love. And so it's an interesting thing that almost 75% of the time that we do marry our opposite personality, and it's very common for a red to be married to a blue. And a good example of that is a red man and a blue woman one time shared this conversation. She says, he's always stepping on my feelings, and he said, if you'd quit leaving your feelings laying around, I wouldn't step on them. And as you can see, that's just how they think. And it's not uncommon to have a blue male personality in a marriage and a red female personality in the marriage. Another good opposite to point out is the green and the yellow. Obviously, that's the tortoise and the hare kind of a conversation. The yellow being the hare, running really hard, taking a break at every party, very, very pleasure-oriented, the yellow. The green individual, very safety-conscious, wanting to make sure that safety is being followed and structured, and that they're very focused on making sure that there's a process procedure taking place. And when those two individuals get together in a marriage, it's very common for the yellow that if there's any money in the checking account, let's have a party. And on the other side, the green being very conservative, if there's any money in the checking account, we better find a way to invest it or save it to make sure that we're saving for a rainy day. And the orange personality believes anything is possible, and in turn the teal believes that there's a perfect solution to anything. And so it's kind of interesting how those two work together in their relationships of opposites, because the teal wants to figure out a perfect solution before it's implemented, and the orange wants to just go out and get it done quickly, and so they can find conflicts in that view of getting it done now or looking for the perfect solution. It's important to point out the magnitudes, that if you're more than 35% in your personality, it will be the dominant tendency what's really driving you emotionally. Between 25 and 35%, it's the one that you'll recognize. You can use it if you need it. It's like you can use your left hand or right hand. It might not be as good or as strong, but you can use it. And then obviously below 25%, you'll notice it and probably not use it that much. Now the red personality. It's the personality of drive, charge, and get out of the way. High urgency, action-driven, independent from rules, decision maker, in charge, strong-willed, and determined. It's truly the fire, the warrior, the one that's really wanting to get things done now. The orange personality activates others with excitement, is outgoing, prompt, is a doer, an informer. They're upfront, they're entertaining, so there's high energy about implementing new ideas. The yellow personality always is working to keep people happy, kind of a cheerleader. They're always people-oriented, very enthusiastic, and significantly dislike structure. They're the ones that would least likely notice a speed sign, for example. The blue personality, they have an insight and often use it. They are definitely intuitive type of individuals. They feel and sense emotions quite effectively. They're curious. They are a researcher type. Most inventions that were ever developed were developed by blue. They're a visionary, and they always have a theory about something. But they also need a reason to do things. They won't just volunteer to do something. They need a reason. What is the bottom why? They're the ones that ask why the most. The teal personality is always passionate for best procedures. They believe perfection is possible, and they will hold intention or desire to make sure it's perfect. They're very emotional, truthful individuals, planner, level-headed, and they are dreamy and organized. And what that means is that they're always dreaming up a better way to make more efficient, better structure, better organization. The green personality, a standard for truth and honesty. They really do hold this deep knowing that they would rather be honest and factual in their evidence. They're fact-focused, prepared for the worst, always eager to serve if the outcome is truly understood, and efficient, orderly, and very reliable. They will always be on time and prompt. Now that we know or have a base understanding of the colors, a unique thing happens when we start combining colors and we have two dominant colors in a personality. For example, when we have yellow and blue as the dominant two personalities, it's kind of like a relationship expert. So for example, the blue part of your personality, very emotional based, making sure you're nurturing, taking care of the other person, and yellow wanting to be popular and influential. And so these individuals can in fact show up in an environment and make sure that they're feeling other people's feelings, and also having the yellow being able to talk about that and quite effectively be great in relationships. The red-green personality, these individuals are the go-getters, the ones that want to get things done now, get things done for the right reason. They'll implement things and follow through. So again, the red, high urgency, let's get it done now. The green, let's make sure we're following a structure, a procedure, a protocol. And so very efficient individuals, these when it comes to a task that needs to be done. The red-blue personality, we call those a maverick because they like to think things up. The blue, very emotional based, and then the red to get it done. And so they're very unique. They like to tread their own path. They like to go out and be a pioneer in life. And so the maverick, the unbranded calf, being able to be unique and different from the rest of the herd. The yellow-green combination, the yellow being towards the people's side of life again, and the green towards rules. We call this a harmony kind of a personality, that they're really looking for ways to get to have the rules for people to get along, or to figure out a way that the people get along because it's just a good protocol that they're involved in. When we get a combination of an orange and a teal personality, it's really a fascinating process, because not only do they believe anything's possible, they know that there's a perfect solution. So these individuals sometimes are the best at organizing and structuring something that makes good sense, because they seem to have good work ethics and good protocol on putting things together. We've just completed learning about the 6 different personality traits and how it's described using your left brain and your right brain as an extrovert or an introvert, and how your brain actually functions, developing a different character style. In the next segment, we'll be learning about your identity profile. And remember, the identity profile that makes it so unique is it shows the 3 different personalities. So we'll be going over those 3 personalities and sharing with you how they interface and interplay with each other to have that deeper understanding of who you are at home, who you are at work, who you are at play. And we'll see you back at your next convenient opportunity. You make it a great day.